Good Thursday morning, afternoon, evening. Welcome aboard, folks. Great week at Top Gun Options. I love when markets getting hammered and we're printing money. That's exactly what our job is to do here at TGO. Just taking a look at, we'll debrief the week as well, but from Amazon short calls to the Amazon bear call spread to the Target trades that I couldn't get filled on, that a lot of you all got filled on. To our treads, which are just blindingly nuclear green. We're looking at over as covered in briefs, $9,000 this week in profitable trades. That's just on limited risk, folks, too. This isn't, you see all the risk in my trades, and they ain't super risky. 5% of the model portfolio. 5% of the model portfolio is $5,000. And I've shown you in these model portfolios not using 100. Sometimes it's 10, 15, 20 grand. So great stuff. I love printing money as this happens. Hopefully you're happy, and this is why you're here, because everybody's a genius when the market's going up. People are pretty damn stupid and don't know what they're doing when the market does that. So good stuff. In like I said, 1 week, and again, depending on what happens today, close to $10,000 in profit this week, folks. And shameless plug or not so shameless plug, that's 4 months. That's 4 months of a lifetime membership I could have paid for in 1 week. Now, let me pay the attorneys. I can suck. I could really suck. I could suck even more. Now that that's out of the way, I would be in the lifetime group, folks. The max afterburner group is where you need to be, or at least over here in the whatchamacallit, in the hunters. Okay, so there's the link. $1,250 a month, folks, is not a lot of money if you're potentially making $9,000 in 1 week. Enough said. Quick update from Heed. So Heed saw Shrek in the hospital. Let me just read you the update from Heed. They're giving him a fake Purple Heart for combat in Memphis. Funny, not funny. Shrek's out, 4.5-hour surgery. They expect full recovery in 4-ish months. He's going to be staying with us for a while until he figures out where he's going to live next. He'll be in the hospital for a few more days. Yeah, awesome news. They told him in a year he won't even know it happened. So God bless. God is great. God is awesome. God is good. So thank God that Shrek is survives serving his nation in combat in Fallujah to be shot in Memphganistan, something like that. So Shrek is good. So thanks for our thoughts and prayers. Worked. People who laugh at that stuff. Isn't that awesome? Whenever there's like a school shooting or something bad happens, all the Democrats, all the liberals get on social media and do the whole thoughts and prayers. That if you don't think, well, I don't even want to get into it. If you're the type of miserable person that can't close your eyes and send love or positive energy. Could you imagine when I'm president or emperor of the universe, we're going to have like 1 day a week. How about a weekly day of meditation? Everybody in the world fucking stops for like 20 minutes and focuses on peace or love or just kindness or compassion. Do you think the world might just be 1% better? Maybe a tiny percent? Can't stand when people do that. Another school shooting, thoughts and prayers. What are you going to send? Hate and fucking discontent? People are miserable. Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, exactly. Good point, Karen. All right. Let's get going here again. It's our weekly debrief, so I am going to debrief some shit. Just seeing Snopes, PolitiFact, CNN still hasn't issued any correction, any retraction. So the same liberals and Democrats who frothed at the mouth about the FBI is above reproach and you criticizing them, you're they're awesome people. Director Ray this week. We said it came from a lab. Oh, is the FBI, do we believe him or not? I think the FBI should be disbanded. I know it came from a lab. I told you on day one it came from a lab. I knew. We knew on day one, folks. We knew on negative day one, day minus whatever. I told you this shit was coming. But to see the media still twisting and contorting themselves in the pretzels. I saw so many clips last night on Twitter of like just a walk down memory lane, right? What was Jim Acosta calling this thing on day one? The China virus. Remember all the liberals and Democrats and news media calling it the China virus? And then Trump was like, no big deal, not coming here. I love Xi, good dude, great backswing. And then it flopped. Holy shit, this thing sucks. The China virus. That's racist, you calling it wait, you guys called it the China virus for a month when you thought you could get Trump. Now Trump woke up to the seriousness of it, calling it the China virus. Now he's a racist. It's gross. Pick your lane of crazy and stay in it. Don't swerve all over. I stay in my lane of crazy. You swerve on over here and I'll call you out on it. So again, send a message to Facebook like, you guys going to apologize? You going to unrestrict my account for telling the truth? Could you imagine being a purple-haired nipple ring person sitting at Facebook headquarters reading my shit like the veins popping out of their heads? Of course, they're not going to unrestrict my account or anything like that. Those people are never wrong. They're still never wrong. They're still PolitiFact, Snopes, they've kind of changed a couple words like, well, the consensus has changed a little bit. Oh. I thought you were the people that says science never changes, right? The science is settled. Remember Fauci? Like Emperor Palpatine? I am the Senate. I am the science. Remember that dude? Again, weekly debrief. I don't want to drop anchor on this. I hate being the guy, and you've read it in my book, From Sea Level to Sea Level. If you have an I told you so moment, I wrote about this in my book, in the business world, you either failed to speak up and you're a coward, or you did your job, you spoke up, and the leadership just didn't listen to you. I did my job. I spoke up. I didn't do insider trading. I did outsider trading. So when those senators left the top secret brief they got in the skiff and said, everybody relax, not coming here. Everything's under control. No more questions. Okay, everybody I know on this cell phone, get out of the stock market. And broker, my broker that's on this call, get me out of everything. But an investigation revealed that that's not insider trading. Me, I fucking told all of you. I told the world. And I got banned, but that's all right. A lot of you became filthy rich. You're welcome. I became filthy rich and started a foundation. So, anyway.
That was in the fridge, hon. Has it been opened recently?
And the Republicans are going to have hearings.
Oh,
and yeah.
Well, they need to put it back in. I'm sorry.
People are so dumb.
I thought it had been sitting in there forever.
Oh, so the Department of Energy, you're going to believe them? Yeah, fuckface. They're the arm of our government that is in charge of what? Labs. I can't stand stupid people. And then you bring that up and they're like, and then they disappear and go away. Like the Department of Energy, all they care about is transformers or something or nuclear power plants. No, that's not all they do. So when the Department of Energy, who's in charge of like chemical and labs and shit, says it did, and the FBI, I love that Joe Biden is still doing the pretzel thing. There's no consensus among our government agencies. Shouldn't that be a problem to us as American? We can't get to a consensus? What's a consensus, folks? Do our 17 intelligence agents, 17, do our 17 intelligence agencies, is it 9 of them have to agree? And then we say, all right, well, 51% of them, it's a disgrace. This will be an election issue, I guarantee you. I can't wait to be running for president because I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? Millions of Americans dead. essentially a biological attack on our nation and our vaunted intelligence agencies that swore up and down that Donald Trump's a Russian agent. You all believe that shit, but you can't find a consensus on this deadly pathogen? I don't know why Americans don't have faith in their government. Occam's razor or whatever that thing, the most reasonable answer is probably the most whatever. I'm done. Okay. Oh yeah, Bob, trust me. Fauci, somebody's audio's on. Let me turn everybody off. Fauci, he needs to go to jail. The man's mute everybody. Everybody should be muted. I've muted everybody. So if somebody logged in as an instructor, Goose, are you in here? Okay. All right. So we talked about this earlier in the week, 12 days, which is what? Not 12 days anymore. This headline is old. We have 8 days. 8 days, ladies and gentlemen. U.S. very, very worried. So, folks, when we do a bearish or a bullish double vertical, what do? I have 3 R's, don't I? I'm really, really, really bullish. I'm really, really, really bearish. So at the United Nations, ladies and gentlemen, we get 2 V's. We get very, very. So, ladies and gentlemen, if the United States, our government that can't find a consensus on a biological attack that killed millions, is very, very worried, what should we be doing? Should we be worried that a country that screams on a daily basis, death to America, death to Israel? Why don't you Google the 12th Imam? The mullahs that run Iran believe it is their mission objective on this planet to hasten the return of the 12th Imam. Google it. They got no, folks, when your enemy has no regard for human life. As a matter of fact, they don't give a shit about their own human life because they think Allah, baby, Allah loves me killing people who don't agree with Allah. What a fucking nightmare. I don't like slamming, quote, other people's religion, but after doing the medicine, I kind of have seen some shit and have felt some shit. Jesus, Muhammad, Allah, Buddha. Hey, man, there's one thing. Use whatever noun, verb, person, place thing you want to use. But I'm fairly certain at least the God that I experienced ain't digging the fact that you're killing in its name. But anyway, why am I rambling about this? Because we're sitting here, I'm having a cup of coffee on this live trade brief. People who believe that are getting this. 15 pieces of feces flew small nuclear weapons into the World Trade Centers and the Pentagon. They did that because they didn't have this. You have got to look at your enemy at certain points and go, man, brilliantly executed. And I know that makes people cringe. You've never served in the military if that makes you cringe. When you look at the 9/11 attacks, it was fucking brilliant. A couple one-way plane tickets, a little bit of flight training here in South Florida and some other places. The flight instructors calling the FBI. Got a bunch of Arab dudes who don't want to learn how to take off and land. They want to learn how to just kind of work the autopilot and turn off the transponder. Yeah, thanks for that. We're busy investigating school board parents. So a country that wants to kill as many of us as humanly possible is getting a nuclear weapon. Where's Joe Biden? I'm in Ukraine. This is a really good read. I'm not going to get into it. This is a cup of coffee read. How the war in Ukraine ends. I can't believe I'm posting something from the New Yorker. Yeah, Goose, you can't. How do you because whenever I talk about the Israel, Iran getting a nuke, how do you get Benjamin Netanyahu and the Ayatollah in the same room to eat? What's the common ground? One side says you're going to cease to exist. The other side's like, we don't mind you existing, but stop threatening to wipe us off the planet. And the one side has zero regard for human life. If I die vaporizing those Jews, I'm going to heaven quicker. Who wants 72 virgins? That sounds like hell to me. So unbelievable. Yeah, exactly, Goose. So read this, because this is a really, really, really good read on how the Ukrainian war ends. And this is kind of an impartial take. It's well worth the time. So that's your homework. Here's your commit criteria for being bullish on the defense industry in the Wall Street Journal today. How U.S. weapons play a growing role in the Ukrainian war. And it breaks javelins, artillery, HIMARS, Bradleys, Abrams. Look at the scrolling timeline of this. What's missing underneath Abrams? Say it with me. Fighter jets. Every scroll of my finger here is what? We started with javelins, artillery, HIMARS, Bradleys, Abrams, fighter jets. Wow. So, defense contractors winning, people dying. Zelensky floats strategic pullback from Bakhmut after pouring in huge amount of reserve forces, folks. This is turning bad. It's been bad since day one. It's getting worse. So welcome to. Now we're going to jump on a couple different lanes of crazy. Did you see what happened yesterday or today or whenever? There are cross-border terrorist attacks. Now, on Instagram, it's all over the place. These are Russians, false flag attacking Russian towns. So there's allegedly militants in this Western Russian villages. A couple civilians were killed. A school bus was blown up. Saboteurs may be holding 6 people hostage. So, ladies and gentlemen, and again, I'm going to report what's being reported, and then we'll digest it. A Ukrainian terrorist attack is underway in Russia. The attackers said on video they wouldn't kill civilians, but there are reports of hostages and mass casualties. Now, the video has dudes wearing Ukrainian uniforms. I don't know if you're going into an enemy's country, you're dressed up like those soldiers. So, you ready for this? Could be a false flag. I get it. But guess what happened this week? So, are the drone attacks? So let's all look at this, folks. Is Vladimir Putin ordering drones to attack his own refineries in Crimea? So this is where, folks, welcome to today. So the people that are claiming these are false flags, right? Oh, yeah. We're not doing. So you're telling me they're not doing sabotage in Russia? Well, they are, but not this. Oh. Because did you see that AN-25, whatever, their E-2 ski or their RC-135, whatever, their big plane that looks like a UFO landed on it? Somebody snuck into Belarus and blew that thing up. I'm sure Vladimir Putin is ordering the destruction of his own AWACS aircraft. Here's what I'm getting at, ladies and gentlemen. Whether this is true or not is not the point. It's happening. So the one foreign minister or whatever minister in Russia is saying what? Great. Now the United States of America is funding terrorist attacks on Russia. You see where this is going, folks? I don't care if it's a false flag. or it's true. None of that matters to me. It's happening, which brings us closer and closer to full scale. I don't know what this is, but full scale war with a nuclear power. So the people who frothed at the mouth that this might be a false flag attack are the same people who said he blew up his own Nord Stream pipeline, when Seymour Hersh, who's a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist, said the United States did. No, it's definitely a false flag. So everything's a false flag attack. I get it, folks. Hitler did this. Troops dressed as Polish, whatever, attacked a radio station. I get it. I'm a student of history. But welcome to the fog of war. So don't tell me that these attacks, some of them deep within Russia, are all Vladimir Putin attacking his own country. You got to be fucking stupid. Vladimir Putin blew up his own recon plane in Belarus. Well, no, that might have been us. Well, they're not saying it was us, but let's not do this, folks. I'm trying to be as impartial as I can in this thing. I actually am. I think Vladimir Putin's a war criminal, should be arrested, and that's why you got to read this New Yorker article. Like some of the things that Zelensky's saying, like we're taking back Crimea type of thing, or there's going to be tanks in Moscow, or he's a war criminal. A war criminal. What's her name also said this. Cackles McShitty Pants. She said what? He's a war criminal and needs to go on trial. How does Vladimir Putin and his generals get arrested and put on trial for war crimes? Tanks literally have to be in Moscow. How's the world arrest Vladimir Putin? It needs to be Nazi Germany, right? Dude in a bunker putting a bullet in his head. Does anybody think that Vladimir Putin, with a nuclear arsenal, who said he's going to use it, is going to end up in a docket somewhere facing charges? So the rhetoric, folks, of both sides at this point is bordering on insanity. I've told you this for a while. We are in World War III. We're in it. I'm here to brief you all and show you how I'm trading and potentially making money. You guys do whatever you want to do on your side of the computer screen, folks. But this is bad. Exactly, Goose. It's a great way to look at it. All right, that's enough of that. But folks, isn't it weird? Like I'm like whether it's at night, sitting out back by the pool, doing my intel, talking to people, and I wake up with my coffee, do my yoga. Every day, there's something worse. All these people with these Ukrainian flags in their bio who've never done anything in their entire life are the people who would have packed a picnic, got in their carriage, and, hey, let's go watch this. We're going down to Manassas to watch our Union forces beat the shit out of these slack-jawed yokels. 4 years later, 600,000 Americans dead. Stop killing people for a little bit. No, if we do a ceasefire, it gives Putin a couple days to regroup. What? If we don't stop him in Ukraine, he's going into Poland and steamrolling across Europe. With what? A bunch of fucking convicts and running out of weapons and 2,000 tanks gone? This domino theory was a lie in Korea. There's a North Korea. And it was a lie in Vietnam. There's a Vietnam, and it's looking pretty damn capitalist. Your domino theory, I'm going to pull an Obama-Romney moment. The past called, it wants its domino theory back. Now, of course, Obama was wrong with Romney. Romney's like, Russia's our biggest threat or one of our biggest threats. And Obama's like, the 80s called, they want their foreign policy back. Barack, I wish I could delete that 8 years of my life. Smooth talking guy who did nothing from Chicago. Nothing but a quota election. Anyway, so I'm buying time here because I'm trying to figure out if 3,900's the next stop. All of your treads are disgustingly printing money. Let me get a hell yeah if you have the one The debit spread is maxed out on the one. There's like an $18,000 Tredge from like a month ago that we put on, man. There's your life. Hey, look at that. I'm going to shameless plug in the middle of the brief. Let's just I'm going to roll down and call it 15. With one of our Tredges, folks, I paid for a lifetime membership in a month. Now, who was it? Jim had a great question in the over here. I think, now I'm going to go counter trend. I think we're going to get a short-term technical, ain't nothing good about it, but a technical bounce. Why? Because we need it. Selling gets exhausted. We ripped through the 50, the 200, and 100 as what? Say it with me. As briefed. I told you all of this was going to happen, and we nailed it. I said, next stop's the 50, next stop's the 100, and we're here. What's next? A little bit of a breather. I'm not going to get bullish with both hands type of thing. We're not going to, I don't think we get one of these things, but the market is doing what, folks? It's starting to settle into, holy shit, man. Things kind of do suck, and even as things are sucking, Jerome is not going to change what he's doing. Yeah. How many times have we been in this brief where I'm like looking at the screen going, did you not hear the guy? Rally on. All right. So, since we are, and I talked about this earlier in the week, folks, this is I was looking at the days years ago of it being in AR with like CSX, Goldman Sachs, or JP Morgan. Some Microsoft. I mean, just being long-term bullish and having some great stuff, right? This was old accelerated retirement. I remember some trades that were 6 digits, man, like a JP Morgan, 150 grand, some of our Amazon synthetic stocks. Some of you were up, $100, $200, $300,000 on some of these positions. We traded this in the COVID crash. That was insane. I think that was like a $2.5 million year. Now, guess what? This is where we make our, well, we're not making that, but this is where we make our, instead of money, hay as an options trader. People are getting slaughtered in this. Not us. Now, our 450 or 500, close to 500 last year, wasn't a 2.5 million year, but folks, when the past year looks like it is, I am more than freaking proud of our performance. Look at this. In this type of environment. So why am I wanking about this? Because now, even as things are, look grim, and we have my 2023 prediction is already proving itself to be true. Bigger shit show, bigger train wreck, deeper recession, deeper bear market. The bear market, look at this. We got a lot of altitude here. I think the September lows are definitely on the horizon here. Why am I rambling about all this? Because as the market's imploding, you also do what? We talk about this often. And when you dogfight another aircraft, you want to be out of phase, out of plane from the other aircraft. Lift, vector, on, pull. So as everybody's starting to get bearish and finally wake up to where we are, you got to start getting on your whiteboard or in your trade journal, what? Something like this. Bank profits fell 6% last year as war, inflation, and higher rates. It's not. I'm not even close to using the B word, bullish, not bearish, on banks or anything like that. However, I want to say this, and then I'm gonna countermand it. I want to say that better days are ahead. That financials will rally. Everything's going to be great. Yay, peace, love, and understanding. I want that. If, not when, if those days are coming, have this on your whiteboard. Have these on your buy list. So it is my job as your briefer to do what? Let's pick up the binoculars and look downrange. If the storm's going to clear, you got to buy the banks with both hands. Goldman Sachs this week and Solomon. What a joke. The guy's a joke. Focus more on Goldman Sachs and less on being a DJ in the Hamptons and Miami and flying the corporate jets around. I'd fire not Blank Fiend, close enough, Solomon. But Goldman Sachs admitting this week that the consumer business was stupid and a foray shows that they're get back to no more freaking polo shirts and khaki pants, 3-piece suits at Goldman Sachs. Get back to being Duke and Duke. Stop with your bullshit. I would buy these things with both hands. Not even close. Now, let me delete all of that and say, I don't know if better days are coming. Never in my lifetime have we been closer to a nuclear war. And I, like many of you in this room, remember duck and cover. I'm old enough to remember Mr. Gorbachev tear down this wall. I'm old enough to remember living near the New Jersey Air National Guard base where the F-106s, the skipper lived across the street. He was an Eastern Airlines pilot with a Firebird or a Trans Am, whatever it was. His orange flight suit, he was bigger than life to me. I'm intercepting Russian bombers. Not even then were we as close to nuclear war. Iran was still kind of our buddy until the hostage crisis. The Shah, women walked around Iran like women can. Now if you don't wear your hijab, you get the shit beat out of you or the police arrest you and kill you in the police station. So I don't know if everything I said in the 5 minutes ago is going to happen. I just don't know, folks. That's sad to say. Iran with a nuke, North Korea with nukes, Russia with nukes in a heated battle and a proxy war with us. So I'm in accelerated retirement with my binoculars looking downrange. I am not bullish on anything other than I got some Amazon personally and I got my psychedelics. That's when I'm talking about the end of the world, folks, the one place you have to be bullish is where? On what can save the world. And it's healing. Still talking to my brother Doug, who zips around Eastern Europe. The Ukrainian veterans, the Russian veterans are going to need healing. If we had more healing on this planet, we would not be fighting a war right now. We debriefed this week. A lot of you made some good money this week on Target, on pounding Target into the ground. I chased it. It ran away, and I sat here and said, nice job out of everybody who pounded it into the dirt. U.S. bankruptcy filings surge at the fastest pace since 2009. Home prices tumbled for the 6th straight month in December. Folks, investors bracing for surge in market volatility. You can't. Was it Tuesday in the primary brief? I wanted to red team all of this stuff, folks. Somebody give me where we're wrong. If we're all thinking the same, nobody's thinking. I get it. What's the bullish case? Peace in Europe, peace in Israel, Iran, China, Taiwan. Hey, man, we love you as a separate country. I mean, I can sit here and I can ripple all the good stuff off real quick, but the odds of them, can they happen? Of course they can. Anything can happen. Will they happen? No. So, Bob, all right, now let's get tactical, strategic, operational, tactical. Now let's talk trades. If you're no, Bob, not right now. If anything, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, we might, 3,900, look at this, a little resistance, a little support. Okay, a couple drill bits back here. There's a drill bit there. Here was some 3,900 bounce. So 3,900, I'm looking at the SPX here. We're getting a little bit of let me stop rambling and give you the quick tactical brief. Bounce. We will get a short-term tactical bounce. If you got some nice profit in your trades, close them. But the one that's out this far, I'd probably keep. However, is it in this account? You can dogfight. What did we brief this week? You can dogfight the debit spread. Is it in this one? Go look. 41 grand year to date, $41,000 in 2 months, folks, in the AR portfolio. Anybody see any red in here? Now, obviously, there was losing trades, but they netted out to not be significant. 29 grand trading the S&P 500, folks. This is AR. There was some spillover with Amazon because we were trading some Amazon in here as I was talking about it. And then we took some targets of opportunity shots on Meta. That was clubbing baby seals. So, that's what I wanted to look at. Positions. No, these are March. I'm closing these. These are March 7th, folks. They were up $5,000 this morning. I'm closing these. I'm going to take these profits, $4,500. I forget when I put these on. I'm getting out of these. Close. Nice profits, $4,500 on the. Well, you could. What's this one at? 95%. Close it. Jesus, Muhammad, Ganesh, Buddha could all come back to life. Closing $4,600. Closing March 7 SPX Treges for $4,600 profit. That's nice. Out. Get out of them. The longer ones, we'll talk about the dogfight. I think they're in primary, so I'm gonna go over there. And this little bounce here has a nice run. I took a couple snipers this week too. I don't think I. So with the couple snipers I took this week, we're over $10,000 in profitable trades covered this week from the Amazon bear calls, red short calls, the Targets. I didn't get into. I'm not including that. A lot of you guys got into, and then these Treges. Good stuff. Let me close this. Let me find where I put the dogfight one in because I said I wanted that one on. I think that was in it was in weekly options. Hang on. E-Trade. Weekly options is 4,700. Account 4,700. So technical bounce here, and I called it. I said, nope. I would not do a bearish on target. I would not do bearish anything right now. We are getting it, and as I keep saying it, we're getting a technical bounce. I do a bullish sniper for today. Maybe we'll take a look at that real quick. Okay, so even these Treges, the debit spread here. Well, geez, the debit spread is actually looking pretty good. Look at this. This is interesting. I'm not going to dogfight this. I would have thought look at this. I love this stuff, man. Look at the short 3,500 puts. They're red. Look at the long 3,600 puts. Now SPX rolling over a little bit. This is interesting. So the market, ladies and gentlemen, there is skew appearing in these options right now. So this is why day one in flight school, what do they tell you to believe? Your instruments, not your inner ear. A very good friend of mine who's an was an F-14 Tomcat pilot. Famous mishap in Nashville. Took a jet home over the weekend with another. I was closer with the pilot than the backseater, but good dude, both of them. Took a jet back to Nashville to see his parents. Sunday, great visit with the parents. Everybody's out at the airport to watch him take off. Does a low transition. Low transition, baby. Gear up, flaps up, stay in ground effect, full afterburner in a Tomcat, which is pretty damn cool, till the end of the runway and straight up. Straight up into what? An overcast. Climbing straight up in the clouds. Oh shit, pushes the stick over, thinks he's level, and he's actually going straight down. straight down at the speed of God, breaks out of the clouds and sees nothing but ground, and pulls on the stick about 10 Gs, which probably blacked out both of them. They don't even know they're dead. Right into a condominium, killing, obviously, both of them and some people in the condo. Why this macabre story? Because you believe your instruments, not your inner ear. If he had looked at his shit in the cockpit, Stacy would be alive. Stacy Bates. Why am I doing that? Because I needed a little time to explain that holy shit. The market, this Tredge is solid. I'm not touching it. Ain't no dog fighting today. So this Tredge that we put on earlier in the week is doing its job. Okay. This one, this March 10 one, is actually looking pretty damn good. Hob, yep. Hob Higgins, yep. Exactly, man. Tony, I'm old enough that it was VF 213, the Black Lions. But yeah, yep, Hob Higgins, man. What a great dude. Stacy Bates was a good dude too, but just they actually ended the Rio to pilot program because of Stacy Bates. So Stacy Bates, on our first cruise on the Lincoln, ejected out of a Tomcat. He was doing a guns D. He was doing a dogfight and departed the jet. Ejected. And then this happened. So a big investigation. He was a good dude, man. But yeah, sad. Hob Higgins. Yep. That's funny, Tony. I didn't know anybody would know his name, but Hobbs. Yep. Okay. So nothing. I take everything I back said about dogfighting that Tredge. Why? Because the options market is like here. If you're kind of going, I have no idea what you're saying, Wiz. The options pricing right now is saying doesn't believe in what I just said, a short-term technical bounce. Or if they do, the options that we did all the way out here they don't care. Does that make sense? It's June, right? Let me look at the expiration of this again. Yeah, this is June. So the options pricing in those June options are saying, no, dude. Watch us, not how you feel. I came in here to dogfight. Wrong. I'm not. Don't touch it. Or I'm not touching it. It makes no sense to dogfight it right now. This is far enough out in the future where the options pricing in those strikes are saying, yeah, come the papa. You're good. Now these, I love these. The 3900, 3925. These are, you know what? We might manage this one. Well, let's look at this. Analyze. Now, I'm holding this, but remember, let's do a little training right now. In a bearish double vertical, so we have a bear call spread up here. I should be looking at the chart, but let's just draw here. Here's the bear put spread in this SPX Tredge. The bear call spread is what? A credit spread. We make money. We love what? Theta. We love theta. A bear put spread is what? Negative. It doesn't like cash or time. So here's why I'm rambling about this and doing a little training. This trade's up $1,700 since we put it on. The bear call spread is getting there. It's only up 50%. What do you close if in your double vertical or your Tredge? What spread should you close first if it's going in your direction? The debit spread, the bear put spread, because it doesn't like time. Okay, so this is good. I love this. If you believe, this is what, 8 days away. If you believe, Wiz, you might be right. We might get a little short-term technical bounce back up to the 50 or the 200. I'm inverted. Back up in the spaghetti. We might get a technical bounce back up into the spaghetti. What's this up right now? $2,000, $2,400. So the Tredge this week is up $2,400 ish, $2,300. Close it. Nobody's gone broke taking a profit. Okay. Is that good? What are you going to do, Wiz? I'm going to sit here for a second because the SPX, I think, doesn't care. It doesn't matter what I think right now. I'm trade the market you have, not the one you want. I'm stalling for time because I want to see if we are going to get this little chop in between 50 and 25, or I'm sorry, 50 and 25 down here. Yeah, let's think about it. Charles, following all the trades you're doing, Charles, there's actually not a lot of trades, to be honest with you. I mean, back in the old days, like I said earlier, CSX, JP Morgan, this, that, Raytheon. I mean, I used to have this, we could talk offline, Charles. You're a Philly, South Jersey guy like me. I'm always up for talking offline, but there isn't a ton right now, which is interesting. When I looked at our 2022 performance, anecdotally, I'm going to say 85 to 90% of my trades last year were S&P 500 trades. They're some psychedelics, some Amazon, and some shots of opportunity. So I know you're in the lifetime group, Charles, so maybe we can go offline and help you in there. But let's get a waypoint zero right now. Let's get a level set. The only trades that I have on Amazon bear call spread, which you should have closed, or if you like the profit right now, you close it. An Amazon synthetic stock. I got some mixture of psychedelics sprinkled in a bunch of accounts. And that's it. Somebody asked earlier, I didn't, who was it? Tony's, the FXI I closed, and I think the COP I closed. So it's just, I'm pretty skinny right now. I got to go to yoga at noon, but I mean skinny in the portfolios. It's mainly, the only longs are, we can go, let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk again about energy and FXI. FXI had some data last night. What were I think it was last night. What's today? Sometime it was, when the data comes out, like when I'm going to bed, I forget what. So Tuesday night, there was some good. Wow, look at all the numbers out of China. Of course, they can all be full of shit. Let me hit you with the summary slide first. We nailed this technical bounce. I think I exited the FXI or told you to. I still like FXI. Not right now. With Taiwan, with war, I like nothing bullish right now, folks, except psychedelics. So, Tony, I think you were the one that asked that. Out of energy. You could stay in energy, folks, because there's always, if there's war, how about this? When there's war in the Middle East, unless Benjamin Netanyahu is a liar, unless Benjamin Netanyahu just goes, you know what? I know I've promised the Israeli people that Iran will never get a nuke. I lied. Unless Benjamin Netanyahu is lying, there will be war in the Middle East. I hate talking like this, but I'm here to do a job. That's Wiz talking. Now let's go Gordon Gekko. Stay in the energy. If you're still in COP or ExxonMobil, oil, war in the Middle East, folks, between Israel and Iran, like no kidding, not shooting some scientists or blowing them up or computer viruses, like no shit, F-35 strikes and oil's at $150 to $200 a barrel. Easily. So, Tony, I'm glad you asked that a while ago. It wasn't blowing you off. This was a good segue. But China, I'm glad we got in when we did. We got out, and I would not be doing this. The only thing, to Charles's point right now, I'd be doing is doing what we're doing. Treads to the downside, some Amazon, and some psychedelics. I appreciate you saying that, Charles. When in doubt, shout it out, right? So I know Bob and who is it? Like, I've noticed, I just haven't had the time, guys, but I know there's a bunch of Max Afterburner folks who are trading what is it? UNG? Who's doing the UNG stuff in here? I swear I'm trying to follow it, but I just can't. I'm not. That's not my wheelhouse. This is why I love this group, folks. Who's our Bob? I think Bob's doing it. There's the target stuff for the week. Okay, Bob. Awesome. Yeah, Dwayne. Yeah, there we go. And Boyle. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, look at this. There you go. There, Coleman, Eric. That's what I'm looking at. Dwayne. I'm task shedding some stuff, but I see all this stuff going on with you all doing the UNG or the natural gas stuff. I'm like, yay! I'm not following it. This is why this is the best hedge fund in the world, man. I don't need to be. You guys are doing some great work, so I love it. Nice job, Coleman. 5% in a week. I love it. So good stuff, guys. So the energy stuff. Hopefully you're in. And Tony, I think you're over in here doing some good work. I should. Let me write that down. Whenever I say I should be doing something, I need to look into it. I should get back into either COP, ExxonMobil. Because if we're talking war in the Middle East, folks, energy is going to go through the roof. So, but good question, Charles. Hopefully that helps you out. I don't want to scare you, but if I'm going to say if, I'm not going to say when. I don't want to scare you, but when or if we get a turn of something, Jerome says, you know what, Uncle, I'm done, or I'm at least pausing, or I'm going to pivot. Remember, folks, the stock market is not the economy. Everything we could be at world war, unemployment, housing market, auto, consumer debt. Everything could be horrific, and the stock market goes straight up. I guarantee you that's going to happen. It doesn't matter, folks. Gordon Gekko and the market when, not if, Jerome Powell says, Uncle, you will see this. I don't care if Vladimir Putin's in Poland. Isn't that crazy? But I'm telling you, it's going to be a fact. Season 7. Somebody reported this week, Bobby Axelrod back on Billions. Now I'm going to watch it again. Nobody in the Hamptons gives a shit about Poland or Ukraine. They might have it in their bio, but when it comes to their portfolio, they will buy the market with both hands. Remember, folks, out of the thousands and thousands of hedge fund managers, 90 to 95% of them don't know shit about options. And they are what? LO. They are long only. They can't stand this. They can't stand a choppy or down market. I could be printing money, giving a $100,000 lecture over a weekend in Greenwich to a long only fund like buy some puts, get long volatility. Oh, wow, that's going to sound really cool in our prospectus. So, folks, markets, this is why these bear market rallies are so violent and strong. Is hope. Yay! They don't make money in down markets, folks. We do. We make money in up markets, sideways markets, and down markets. But it's so funny, folks. The vast majority of investment professionals don't know what they're fucking doing. Do you know how many times I talk to, quote, professionals at networking events or people who join TGO? They're like, dude, I studied a little bit of options for my series, whatever, or my CFA. There are certified financial advisors, folks, who don't know shit about options trading or making money in a down market. The extent of their options knowledge is buying puts. Well, why don't you sell a lower strike put to offset the cost? The what now? Okay. So be very thankful you're here. That's not a shameless plug. That's the truth. Again, everybody's smart when that happens. Everybody panics except us when that happens. We make money. Nearly $500,000 last year in profitable trades. Hence the lifetime membership going up to $22,500. Pay for performance, man. Yes, I will give you that. Here's the monthly. You folks, depending on the not depending on anything. I think so. Short calls closed. Amazon. The Amazon bear call spread should be closed. All those target trades. The Tredges we just closed for $4,600. Yeah, 10 grand ish, ladies and gentlemen, this week. Again, my attorneys aren't cheap, so I'll say this: I could suck. Past performance does not equate with future results. These results are not typical. Your results may vary. Did it live. Did it in front of all of you. Posted everything in here. Didn't, no. Yeah, all the snipers are in here. Or I missed one sniper post in here. Or no, I still posted it. It was when the group me wasn't working or something like that. I had one sniper because somebody posted like, Wiz, nice 1 minute sniper. I posted the opening and the closing. We were dark for about an hour on group me or 2 hours. Had one sniper. Full disclosure, that was not, it was posted late. So, but it was still in my account. That's my fault. Or it was my fault. I could not. Everybody was having problems with GroupMe. Barry, my brother was a senior managing director at a major firm, and I'm teaching him options. Love it, Barry. Good for you. Did you settle that suit against the guy, Eric? Yes. And I will say, well, so I sued him, right, Eric? And then there was a countersuit. So I am obligated to say that it has been settled and everything is great. I think that's how I'm supposed to answer that question. And it is. So I will leave it at that. That's when there's a non-disparagement clause. How about I say that? If you have any questions, you can contact Mudd Law, our Chicago law firm, and they will have a comment. So, yeah, litigation sucks. I mean, just nobody, lawyers get rich, man. But we have a non-disparagement clause, so everything is fantastic. I could not be happier. How about that? So, good stuff. And and you guys know me, especially, that after doing the medicine, I love everybody, man. Even my worst enemy, I love. When you get to the point, not that I'm some fucking flowing robes, whatever, man. I am a sinner. I need all the help I can get. But once in my life, it took me over 5 decades to get to the point for me to know that God loves God loves I was going to say the worst murderer on the planet. Well, guess who that is? Vladimir Putin. God, the God that I know and believe in, loves my enemy as much as it loves me. That's when you start really understanding life, right? Remember in the Civil War, Johnny Reb in the trenches and Union boys in the trenches would cry out to who? God. God is on our side. One of the best books I've ever read, Every Drop of Blood, sitting right over there on my bookshelf. Lincoln's second inaugural wasn't a victory speech. It was we both deserve this. God isn't on anybody's side in this. It was Lincoln's second inaugural is one of the most magnificent speeches in human history. Everybody thought he'd be doing a victory lap, and it was a little bit of a scolding. So, Goose, my CEO buddy that owns a financial firm can only sell options in his own account due to his required. Oh yeah, exactly. Awesome, Goose. That's very cool. Awesome. All right, guys, right on time, on target. Close some trades this week, over 10 grand ish. In profitable trades covered this week. I really didn't add all my snipers in there, so if you'll allow me to round up, that's a good week, man. 52 weeks times 10 grand, you do the math. We did just under that last year. Not saying that's going to happen again this year or ever again, but I'm very, very happy with where we are. This was a great week of trading, a great week of community. I appreciate everybody reaching out or at least sending some love to Shrek and his family. I can't wait to hear the story. The way he tells it, it's now that we know he's alive and he's going to be fine, we can laugh at it because, we can laugh at it. So hopefully we're going to get some live events for TGO soon, or at least No Fallen Heroes, so we can all get together and laugh and celebrate. Yeah, it's $12.50 a month for 12 months. That's it, man. $12.50 a month for 12 months, and that's, if I can't make $12.50 on an SPX trade in 1 month to cover this, I'm an idiot. No, Eric, I mean, FedEx is doing what FedEx does. I mean, they're trying their best, but they're not gonna pay for. So Heed, who's a TGO member, Shrek's gonna be able to crash with those guys, and Heed's family's gonna take care of him. But FedEx, I'm sure they're doing everything they can as a corporation to help Shrek out. They're pretty good. One of the craziest books you're ever going to read. Let me give you this right now, because I read this and it makes I read it in 4 hours. You have got to read this book. You will read it and about the FedEx pilot that busted into the cockpit on the jump seat with a claw hammer and like a spear gun and was going to take over the plane. He hit the flight engineer in the head with like a claw hammer and caved the guy's skull in, hit the first officer in like the clavicle. There's blood everywhere. The captain's maneuvering the airplane around, bounce. You got to read. I read it in 4 hours and it will freak you the fuck out. Why am I bringing this up? Because Fred Smith, this would have destroyed FedEx. This pilot was going to fly the MD-11, DC-10, whatever, into FedEx headquarters. Many of you don't know about this story. Read it. Flight 705. When you go into the FedEx training building, there's a big painting at the entranceway of the 3 crew members. The flight engineer, I think he's disabled the rest of his life. I think he wears a helmet because they rebuilt his skull. The FO, I think, ended up flying again, and the captain retired. But I think the company, Fred Smith, was at the hospital with them, and I'm pretty sure Fred Smith took care of their family. But that happened in the air, and that would have been the end of yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, Goose. You know what? I think Shrek was sleeping because he had his showtime was I think he had a night trip, dude. Ah, good. Look at the big brain on Goose. Goose knows his shit. So, but yeah, order hijacked, man. You will not put it down. I literally read it in 4 hours, man. I mean, Susie's uncle was the chief pilot for FedEx. How'd you get hired at FedEx? Susie's uncle was the chief pilot. The 2 guys who interviewed me, he hired when they were youngins. I got in the interview. They're like, you want to go get some lunch? That's great. And then the simulator check for me was we were doing aerobatics. But anyway, he saw the plane. You got to hear this. I'll tell you the story some other time. But he saw the plane come in trying to land on the short runway, and it wasn't going to make it, so the captain took off again, and like this DC-10's like banking over the trees in Memphis, 90-degree angle of bank, full grunt. I mean, it's one of the most incredible stories you'll ever hear. Hijacked. Order it right now. I think, or you know what? It's I think they did it on like they did a hijacked, was it Flight 705? But they did it on Flight 705. Like you can watch if you're not a reader, TV, maybe TV. Wasn't it? Look at this. I just saved you. Oh, look. Yeah, Mayday did it. Exactly, man. Yeah. And then if you watch the film coverage of this, like when they landed on the runway, they blew the emergency slides. and the SWAT guys are like trying to climb up the emergency slide, but there's, talcum powder, whatever, the slide's like compressed into this tight thing. So when it blows out, like these SWAT guys couldn't climb up the slide to get into the airplane to like arrest this guy. So the FedEx guys back in the day, they wore like blue or purple like shirts. It was black from blood. The guy's like yelling to the cops, like, just fucking throw me some handcuffs, man. It is brutal. Watch this and you will get a new it's insane. It's insane. So anyway, I don't know how we got talking about that, but good brief, good week. A lot of good stuff going on. Like I said, she's not up here yet, but we have a new chief medical officer of our foundation, Kristen Rosie Barnes. She's our CMO. And then, FedEx discussion. There you go. And then, if you can get this page out to your network folks, to donate to the foundation and get to fly in the airplane. That, ladies and gentlemen, right there is worth the price of admission to the Lifetime Group. If you are a lifetime member of Top Gun Options and you're down in Fort Lauderdale and you're physically able to climb into a cockpit and you ain't got any heart problems or you're not pregnant, I'll take you flying in the airplane. Okay? So, all right, guys, I got to go. I'll get the replay posted here shortly. Great week. Had a great time. Good stuff going on, man. I love it. Love you guys. Thank God for Shrek. And I'm out. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. God bless you. God bless you, your family, all of you. Namaste. Fights on. And basi, basi.